All right, all right, all right. You all, sorry for the delay, but delay does not mean denial, okay? So always remember that. But welcome back. It is Friday once again, and we are on the Loyalty and Friends Self Love podcast. And y'all see, I got love all over me. Love, 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 love. Oh, I just love myself. And hopefully, you all love yourself as well because self care and self love is so important. And speaking of that, we have Miss Kendall Cobb in the building. Hey,
Hi.
Kendall. We rolling out the red carpet for you today. So thank you again for being such an amazing, amazing guest here on the Loyalty and Friends Self Love podcast. And we had part one of the interview, as y'all know. Part one was actually on Instagram. So it was just a brief introduction. And I apologize for the delay, but delay does not mean denial. So we are ready to go. And this part of the segment, I want to dive a little bit into your childhood. And I understand we all had some challenging times during our childhood. So I would say just share as much as you feel comfortable with sharing, Kendall. If it's too sensitive, then we can always, redirect. But just want to get them a little bit about your childhood so they can get to know who you are behind just your artistry. Okay, so those who maybe know, she is an artist. Okay, and man, she does an amazing job. Very creative. But let's talk about your childhood, Kendall. So, what does that look like for you? Did you grow up in like a two-parent household, one parent? If it was one parent, which parent was it? And do you have any siblings? Yes, let's know. We want to know a little
Mm,
bit about you.
Good question. So, yes, my parents were divorced at a very young age. I do have four siblings, but my brother is no longer here, sadly. That's a whole nother ordeal. Yeah, my parents divorced at least when I was the age of 13. There was a lot of abuse involved in my past. Drugs, drinking, you name it, they've all been through it. Um, so I had to choose sides where I wanted to live with. And of course, I chose my mom because he was never the greatest person to be with for the accountability of it. So, of course, I chose mom. It was always my mom.
Absolutely. So, of course, after divorce, there's the separation. Did all the kids go with mom, or were there some of the children that was with dad? Like, what happened?
They all chose mom because he was very unreliable and he had major drinking issues to begin with. Every time he would drink, anger would come out with rage on top of that. And he
Mm,
would get very physical and would cause a lot of shit. Pardon my French. So
okay.
um, it was never pretty to begin with. He had a dark past as well that I'm aware of. It, things like that happen with families, unfortunately.
Yes, and it's very unfortunate, but I appreciate your transparency, Kendall, for a few reasons, okay? Because
Mhm.
we hear these stories a lot, a lot. Sometimes people are embarrassed, so they don't be as transparent in their journey. But I think it's important because people have to know, like, what were some of our struggles? What did we overcome to be who we are today? And
Mhm.
I think even doing going through that, like you do art. So did you use
Mhm.
art sometimes during those rough times when you was experiencing some of that traumatic, some of those traumatic events? Was art like your outlet? Was that your way
Yeah.
to kind of get away and kind of tune out some of the things that you were going through?
Yes, it really was. Because uh, I still remember my parents yelling and screaming in the background. So I just stayed in my room and hid away from
Mm,
my siblings, away from everyone, because I was overly protective as well. Because I went through major surgeries at that time at the age of 3.
mm.
My parents were still very adept with everything that's been going on with hospitals. I had open heart surgery at the age of 3. I wasn't supposed to be alive at all at that
Oh
time.
wow. At the age of 3.
Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing. But I thank God that you are here because then
Mhm.
we wouldn't have the opportunity to have this time. So I think
Mhm.
God is very intentional when he
Yeah.
when he does that. So I really appreciate him for that for sure. Give me 1 second. I'm just fixing
Mhm.
something on the other end.
All good.
But yes, I'm really enjoying this conversation. I feel like I'm getting to know you a little bit more, Kendall, just through your story.
Mhm.
That's why stories are very powerful. It's important that we continuously share our stories so we can continuously, really
Mhm.
find out like who are one another, right? And
Of
if you
course.
don't, if you don't have these conversations, then you just will never know. You would
Yeah, if
never
you don't know, if you
know.
don't ask.
Absolutely. So, can you think of maybe a particular one particular incident that maybe occurred where you were able to use your artistry as a getaway or an outlet?
Oh my goodness. I would say through grief and depression I was going through after my brother passed away. So I took that outlet and I made it something into my own and just kept doing self-expression. I just didn't know what it was, but I went really quiet after he passed too. So I'm just like, how do I express myself without getting angry at people? And I don't want to hurt anyone. So I took all my
Uh-uh.
and just had a different way for expressing it.
And I can relate to that kind of. I share a lot of my story. I lost my brother back in February 3rd, 2020. My brother actually fell asleep at the wheel. So I think it for me it
Mhm.
makes it a little more difficult when you don't have anyone to blame and there's no real explanation and someone died at their own hands because it's like you're just so angry because you missed that person. And sometimes it's hard
Mhm.
to channel that anger. So do you mind sharing like how did you lose your brother?
He sadly passed away from heart failure and overdose. So it's like a collaboration of whatever caused it for what he was doing. At the time, I was the one that found him with my mom before
Mhm.
Christmas.
Oh
So
wow.
December 3rd was his death date in 2015.
Mm.
So the whole ordeal was everything went blank. Trying to revive him for a good half hour straight. That was another thing for trying to keep him alive.
Wow. And that can be traumatic, for one, seeing your brother in that manner. I can imagine the trauma you went through. And the crazy thing about how death works, we all grieve differently. And I think
Mhm.
sometimes you may not necessarily get over it because I don't like to use that term, We just learn how to cope with it daily. And
Mhm.
I like how you turned that pain into purpose because you was going through something very detrimental that changed your life, but you learned how to channel that in, that hurt that you was feeling, and you put it into your artistry. So that's a beautiful thing. And I want to encourage you and to continuously do that, whatever it
Mhm.
takes to get you the healing that you need, Queen. And my heart goes out to you. I lost a brother,
Mhm.
so I know, and me and my brother were very, very close. So not one
Yeah.
day goes by that I don't think about him. But now I can cry tears of joy, because he's not
Yeah.
suffering, he's not going through anything. Some of the struggles I know that he had that we personally talk about, I can sit here and say, man, it's no struggle for him anymore. And if you see that picture there, that's my brother right there, Kendall.
Oh, wow.
So as you see, he's everywhere I
That's
go.
amazing.
That is my brother. Yep,
Mm.
my brother. So rest in heaven to our brothers, man. And what is your brother's name? We would like to announce his name.
His name was Brent. So he has a stronghold, very strong personality. He's very outgoing and crazy at times too. He did a lot of kung fu crap, but he's gotten himself into a lot of mischief over the years too, and left two children behind as well. So I love them dearly too. They look a lot like him.
Oh wow. Well,
Yeah.
I am appreciative for Brent and rest in heaven, Brent. Rest in heaven, my
Mm.
brother. This
Yeah.
is Eddie, or he likes to be called Kane. Okay, that was his preferred name, but that's my brother. So rest in heaven, and to the legacy that they left here. Look at that. Look at the
Yeah.
legacy. Your brother was able to leave two beautiful kids, which are reminders of him and the legacy that he left here. So thank God for that. Amen.
Hmm. Yeah.
So, um, man, I would love to get you more support, of course. We're going to do like a Q&A style of this interview, you all. So if you all would like to join us on Clubhouse, it's an audio room. You don't have to be seen whatsoever. This part is the visual part, but in our audio
Mhm.
room, we do Q&A. So if you all have any questions you would like to ask our beautiful Miss Kendall Cobb, we would
Mhm.
appreciate the questions. We want to keep it down to 30 minutes, okay? So we will start promptly around 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we want to end around 8:30, okay? Because I want to give you all time back on your Friday. You all could be anywhere, but guess what? Y'all spending time with us here in Loyalty and Friends. We don't take it lightly whatsoever. So thank you all, because without you, there's no us. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And Kendall, I want to give you a little time in between just to kind of reset, get yourself right, because I know this is a little heavy and some things that you maybe haven't had to really conquer or even face, in a while.
Mhm.
So I do want to, pay respect to that. So before we go ahead and wrap up this end, because we got 10 minutes to the top of the hour, again, let the people know how can they connect with you, if they would like something customized for their own home or for just for whatever the reason is. Let them know how they can get that, and also what's the best way we can support you overall as a
Um,
community.
that's really good. Thank you for having me again for the opportunity. It's amazing to be talking for the first time live. So this
Absolutely.
is something I never don't do at all. So I was like, okay, putting myself out there. Let's do this.
I get to see the back behind the scenes, Kendall, or Maple as we call her, and she is so fun. She is a vibe for sure. But yes, let them know how they can support you, my queen.
Of course. So I do have Facebook platform. I do have my links on there. And you can always contact me through Messenger. It's my last name Cobb. So if you want to go contact me, you can always ask Loyalty and she can send over my info to you. Whatever works that way. I got Instagram and YouTube as well. And yeah, go from there.
Yes, and go check out her art, man. I'm telling you, it's amazing. I just love just what she's doing out here, how she's blessing people through her art. And it's an act of kindness and just a way to show gratitude and love, spread love. That's what it's all about. So, again, you all, we met during the wave movement. I want to invite you all to our wave movement. Join us. It was just amazing to see people all over the globe join forces
Mhm.
for the same mission, to spread love, to spread kindness, and through a simple act of a wave. Okay. So, yes, you can join the wave movement today by visiting www.patreon, and that's patreon.com /Yahweh1. Okay. And if you need to know how to spell that, Yahweh1 is YAV as in victory, E as in Edward, ONE. And also join Al. So, Kendra, I have not seen you on Al yet, but I am going to encourage you to come on Al. I think that'll be a great way to express yourself, let more people know about your art, and it allows you to have those one-on-one conversations where you can connect on a deeper level. Okay, so
Mm.
if you are interested, you know how to reach me. I will send you the referral code. Of course, for anyone who's listening, download the Al app today, okay? Not tomorrow, today. That is OWWLL, and you can find it on Google Play Store or in the App Store, either one, whichever you prefer. Make sure you use the referral code loyalty, okay? LOYALTY. That's going to give you $10 bonus so you can use, to connect with others on the app. So I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully you all will connect with me or Kendall when she decides to join, whenever that is, okay? But in the meantime, you all, we are gonna wrap this up. She has told y'all how to follow her. Y'all can click my link in my bio on my social media platforms to connect with me anywhere. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you're here on YouTube or wherever you are, okay? Let's continue to spread the love. And on that note, we will be signing out. I will see you all next Friday for another banger right here on the Loyalty and Friends Self Love Podcast. Thank you, Kendall. I love you, Queen. Looking forward to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Clubhouse in the Loyalty and Friends house. Okay, join us later.